Good morning everyone. I was working yesterday on the church game, and we were just finishing this door that's in front, and I was just completely out of the camera. I was just adding really simple door, just checking that this is working and going well with the proxies and things like that. Adding a few decals, for example here, tweaking a bit all of them, and also from this side I was also adding a few decals to the church. I was also adding this door already, which is functional. You could go and enter and exit from this side also, and this one is also working. And I was also creating a bit of things inside with the entrance that is just being well adjusted for all of them, like the door is working well, and everything is just matching with the inner tower and outer tower here. So this part of the door is fine. This one of course is not done yet, but the rest is fine. And also I was playing a bit with the windows, and I was just creating some like translucent material that is well, not perfect, but it's working. And I was just avoiding here to have shadows, so in that case the sun is just crossing through the windows. We don't have any problem, and it's translucent, so you can see a bit outside. For example, as you can see, for example here we can see the grass, so you can see a bit. And if you are going just outside, in that case you cannot see anything from inside, so I will just delete this. As you can see, it's just almost black. If you see from the other side, you can see that it's just almost black. You can see them, so you can see here the another window, but more or less just closed windows. So we have also those windows here. Just changing the time of the day to see something like probably this, or even 9, to have just the windows in front. So you can see it's not perfect because even having, for example here, like translucent material is just overlapping the another one from this one, which is just not perfect. So we'll be working a bit more on it. You can see here what the problem is, but more or less you have also the windows done from sides, and this is working well for the lining, for example, for this volumetric fog that we have. So here you can see that this is working well with those windows. And if we go to this side at 15 probably, yeah, or things like that. So you have already here, and not here because you have shadow from the houses in front, but you can see that it's also working both sides with the textures that we have. So that's it, good. And the other thing that I'm planning for today is this one that we are still missing. I'm planning to add the glasses now, because probably will do something on Photoshop and maybe nicer, I really don't know. And what I'm planning to do is just some details having here outside, so we can work on a few details here to make something nicer. And probably I will use the same that we have been using for the front door. So here the same size, same style, something like this, and probably I will use the same shape here, the arc that we are using. I will just reuse and create something there covering all the window, and of course they need to be a bit different from the button, but it will be some kind of this probably. So the thing is here just creating a new shape and something there. I was just already checking about pictures, so I have a couple of reference as an idea. So I was just checking something simple like this, for example. It would be really simple to have. In that case we need to move probably, or the width of the windows, I'm not sure. because the thick of this wall is not so big for a lot of details. So I was also checking things like that. That probably could work well, but in both cases it's just being the same size as the wall, as you can see. But if you compare this one with the door that we have been doing, you can see that it's out of the wall, so it's just kind of relief here that we don't have in the window, but we could have, because already I have this, for example, this being out of the window, and we have also here the same. So as you can see, we have also out of the window of the wall, so we could even use something out of the wall also and have it the same style as the door, or just trying to do as I say with those pictures, that's something that is going with the same wall and the windows are being a bit inside. But if you have this style here already not being inside of the wall and not being also the door, probably here we should use almost the same, so having something here. And then the problem is, because in that case, for example, you can see on the button that this is just going to the wall, so in that case it's easy to kind of finish the wall, finish the window at the same size of the wall. And I have here also the same, so this is something that finishes here, detail of the wall. So in that case we should have something probably covering everything, and then I will do a bit smaller the windows, so this will be not so thick, and I can do something smaller here and then move everything there, so we have a bit more space to match with the final wall, the size. So probably we need to tweak a bit the window that we have already to make something that is looking nicer all together with a new shape. So yeah, that's the main task for today, trying to do something nice on this side, and this going well with the wall. So what I was finding was things like that, just only being on the wall, and I couldn't find, for example, let's try something on Google, something that is being out of the wall. So yeah, probably that is something that all of them were being done on this way, so they are all of them inside. And for example, here you see another one. Let me show you about this. So you have here another one that is also kind of something outside that we have here, for example, so we can use one of them, but the rest of them, they're all of them together being inside. So probably we need to do that, or even just increasing this wall in case that is not enough to have something nice. But all of them seem to be the same, so they are small detail outside that we have here ready, so we can kind of use this one later for the final shape. And then everything is being inside of this one, so we probably will do the same with 3 or 4 of them, the same as we did with the door, and then just put this one later on to the detail for all the window instead of having this one. So what we'll do is just probably reuse initially. Let me take this charge. Initially I will reuse the one with the door. So let me check where is the shape of the door. So here the door. What I will do is just take the shape initially for our window. So this is the one. Start display. I will just copy this, duplicate, and then separate from this one. So this is our shape, and this is the one that we have already. I will just okay, so that's the one that we have, and I would like to merge with these 3 windows that we have here. So this one needs to be something closer. Oops. I will reload this one. So initially kind of this, and I will also merge with this. So this is going to 3 windows here and then join. Yes. So now we have this shape. That should cover all the windows. So something like this, and then to be SE, something bigger. Yeah, probably need to be a bit more kind of this big for them, and should be even covered until this point. So even more, a bit more. Something closer. So this one could be our shape that we are using to cover all of them. Just taking as a reference for the pictures here. For example, I will just try to take this one. This is a good reference, I think. So just taking this one as a reference, what we need to do is initially all those parts to have this. So I will just create this first, and we will try to take later for the putting all together with the wall. So initially I will just take this surface and this one, not being even connected with the wall, because we can try a wall later with a few details for something like that. So that's the first thing, is just creating the details for this shape. So I will just start doing this, and this is the let me see, because I want to see if this is inner part or outer part. So in case that this is the outer part, we need to go on inside, but if this is the initial one, well, the initial one needs to be closer, so probably it's better to have the initial surface being closer and then just standing. So in that case it should be something like that, and it will be growing to be bigger. So this is something like really close, and I think I like this peak, and also we got over that, then we cannot avoid this one. So okay, so let's say this is our shape that is initially covering the inner part. So from this one we need to extend. So this is just extrude, and then a little outside, and then extrude again, and then scale, not on X. Well, we don't need this, I think. So this is a bit one. This is extrude again, and I think I will create probably 3 of them. So this is something like that, and then extrude again, and then extrude again, and S to have probably the final surface here, and then extrude again, and then just closing. So we will use this shape to be close to the wall. For that I will also create, probably I will do all those shapes need to be and also this one needs to be sharp, and I will use a few of them. For example, this one, and that one need to be smooth faces, and also this one. So smooth faces to have this. So we have kind of our initially this detail for the window. When we are applying, of course, to this should be, let's create this and different, but let's create this one, this small part that need to be matching with the wall. So for that we need this. In fact, I think that will be easier. This is fine. We just plan to have this set one, and then B, and then separate at the moment. So 3 windows detail, and I will merge later, probably because I think it's just we have already this surface, so we can just hide this and it will be easier to manage this. So what we need now is just adjusting all of them to the same height, and probably we need to move to match with the wall here. So this is this should be, we have here was this yeah, we need to have starting from this point going to down, so that case is something like that, I think. But in that case, of course, we have a bit of detail outside of the window of the wall, so well, but probably we can just remove this one, the last one, and this one will be merging with the wall. Then in that case we don't need the final one. Because I was thinking just to keep this detail outside and not being completely plain, so something like that. So I was planning to have something like that, or we could have completely plain kind of this, but in that case we need to move the window a bit smaller, and that's why I'm saying that we need to redo a lot of things. And then we can just let's keep like this, but then increase this wall being bigger, but not those parts. So it should be probably, if I'm just moving this one, scale, just matching with the surface, just kind of hiding this one. So probably we could just no, what I did is this one, and that one. Well, in that case we don't have enough space, so I was just trying to do something closer and we can just move them or extend them, something fast to test it. So it's like, for example, this one, or we have here something strange. But yeah, something like that, just extrude and doing something like this. Even it's not perfect, but I mean, this one should be the surface that we have covering the window, as you can see. Let me also try this matte cap, and I'll be using, so it's kind of things like this, which are, but I don't really like it. So yeah, probably I will end with something like that, having a bit of details. But in that case we need to solve what's being done on the button, because in that case that we are using this one could be even just cut in there. I think it will be okay. So let's add here a plane, or just a cube, just plane. Okay, so this is the one that needs to be just going through the wall a bit. So this one's already there, kind of this, and then we need this one closer and going a bit down. So this is something like that, and then down. So we could have something like this and then just extend, create something like this and then extend again and move to the wall. So we could have something like that. It's just being completely having completely relief out of the wall. For that case, which is probably not so bad. I think that we need to recalculate all the no. We could just try on the engine just to see how it's going, and probably this one, no, this being a bit top, something like that. Of course, we are missing the UV and matching well here and things like that, but as initially having something like this. So probably let me try to do some wrapping for all of them, and also adding a material which is wet stone exactly, and we don't need this, and what we need is also the group is being exposed, so it's fine. Well, so let's try this one in the engine. I want to see how it's going. First discharge. Still in progress. Okay. Of course, we have been broken all of them, and there's something that not going well, but I mean, probably all those inner faces we should have also the same as this. Just checking all the pictures, you can see that the same material being inside and not just the one from the wall. So you can see everything inside is just a bit different. So probably we need to remove those faces and then just create a new one for only this one. But more or less, it's a bit, I think it's a bit far from these details. So yeah, I think I should do thicker one, but in that case I don't like much for that. And probably what I will do is just reducing this one, so it will be not so thick here. So we are just reducing a bit all those details, and checking about what they have inside. For example, here you can see that they don't have all those details, so probably removing this one. It's just taking a bit plain inside, and then just the plain covering all of them, so it's not needed. And remove those details, or we can keep this, yes, it's fine. I think it's going well. The only thing is just a bit thick here, being honest. I would like to have something smaller, but probably we can reduce a bit those details, a bit, just even the first one. And being probably not so square, but being a bit like that, so it's just going inside. Let me explain this. So almost the same that we have here, this kind of surface. So for that one, for example, we could try something being closer, so it's just scale kind of this. And also for this one, on this one, it's kind of a ramp and not being completely plain. And let me check something. Well, they don't have much details here, being honest, and they have even a curve, but they have a lot of space, so probably this is not something I would like to have. Could even reduce them being smaller, so this for example, and this one, and then doing something like that, and then again this and this being closer, and this also being closer, so we have less detail here. And we could even move, this is something like, but the thing is, if I'm moving already going inside, we are losing the first details of them, so there's something like that only. And just checking in the engine, it's probably fine. The problem is having this texture inside that I don't want to have. So that's the first thing that I will just try to do, is just creating that's the texture that we are using here. Should be just cutting down to yeah, we have here a problem. So what I'm doing is just taking the windows and cutting from this wall completely. So what I want to do is just cutting from this wall and keep this wall clean. And much simple as I did with the for example with the window. So it's something like that. What the problem is, this is the same, this is wrong, yes. So what's the problem with the e-axis? Because I have also this one for some reason. Okay, so I will just take all of them, this, let's say, around, and cut the wall completely. So it's something that would probably is easier just to duplicate this 3 windows wall, let's say. Let's hide this and just remove all the faces that we don't really need. So this one, for example, we don't need this, not this. Cutting all of them, so we can just take the windows only and try to merge later with another one. So this is something that we really need here. And the problem here is, yeah, this is so big because I need to triangulate this one and also this one, triangulating, and then you don't have any problem with that. So yes, so we have here the windows that we even could do a bit smaller or not so thick. So this is probably the next thing that I'm doing, just taking well, it's just doing scale on X 0.5, so it should be well, but it's also breaking those details. I don't like it. Oops. Ctrl E, I don't remember. File redo, I don't remember. Shift Ctrl Z. It's not working. Okay, so Shift Ctrl Z. I don't know. Okay, let's try again. For some reason, I don't know what I was just saying. Ctrl T, and now we can just take them. So I will use this one, is faster. So if we want to do the walls not so thick, we need to reproduce only this one and not using scale. But in that case, we need to do is just moving z zeta, I don't know, 0.1, it's probably too much. X 0.05. Okay, so we have windows not so thick, but we keep all the details for them. And probably the here is the problem. So what is happening here again? So the problem is we need to move the spark, so dx minus 0.05, and what we need to do is just reducing this small area, so just taking this to not reduce also the details here, otherwise we are reducing this one. So the only thing that we need to do is just this one, and this one. Oops, and we have lost a couple of faces here. I will recreate fast. Since not working well today, this undo for some reason. Okay, this is face again. No. This is the face that we have here. This one. Recalculate all of them just in case. So we have the windows separated, and we can combine now this one. So we could merge all of them, or just create here a new surface. So this one is going well because I will use this one. I will just cut down into half them. So subdivide, and I will take this dot to be just there. So we have already this surface that we will use for the same material to just cover the inner part of the window, but we will avoid having world texture here. So this is something like that, and then need to be SE in cover, and I'm afraid having something strength here, so that's why I'm trying to do as much as I can. Okay, something like that. Is it going well? Yes. Yes, and then we need to create here, for example, a new one, a new face here. In that case, probably we'll just duplicate this and this, extrude, move there, and then scale E, and we have already this dot that we can connect with. Oops, we need to have both of them. So extrude, scale E, and we have already this one, this one, this one, and should be also this one. So we have face, and this is the one that we will use to merge with and this is one, this is another one, this is another one, and I'm gonna see with this probably, I think. Yes, so we have the inner part of the window that we are trying to do. This is probably something strange that we have. It's fine. Yeah, the only thing we need to do is just matching them, but I will do right now with another window that I've been doing. So let's also connect this, make a face here, and also we need to have do we have already this face? Yes, we have. We need to connect them, this one, and I think it's this one also. So That's the face that we need to have. If we just hide this one, you can see we have already optional this one. This last one is wrong. So this is not this, and this one. Okay, so we have now the faces for the inner part of the window. If we put this one over that, you can see all of them covered. The only thing that I'm missing is just on the button that this one needs to be also a face, but in that case I'm afraid that we are just doing something wrong with, so try to do something like that probably, and could be enough because it's just only the, yeah. But yeah, probably we need to have all of them just being covered here. Okay, in that case I will delete this face and also this face. We will do is just create a long one, and let me see how it's going, because we have a lot of dots here, and we'll see how is this triangulating. This is not properly done, so we would need to have it just all those triangles, otherwise probably we have a problem here with the we will have a problem with the UV. So I will create a face and I will divide. I need 1, 2, 3 and 4 dots, so let's say subdivide, and then we have 1, we have 3, we have 5 now, I think. Probably there are a lot of them. I will just create something like this, and I will merge them later, all the dots that we don't need. So this F, and we can delete this and this and this, so these all vertices. And the final thing that we need to do is just merging this one, Alt M, center, and this one also, Alt M, Alt center. So we have now already nicer triangulation, so we can create faces now, and we will not have any problem with the UV later. We need to review also about those edges that they are just cutting down and things like that, but anyway, and we will do the same here, exactly the same. So first taking the dots, F, and then I will subdivide a couple of times, and probably another one, and now just connecting this one, F, and now we can delete the ones that we are not using and reconnecting them. Oops. And now create faces. Probably it's easier having those things. And F. Recalculate, because this one I see at least this one is wrong. Okay, so we have now everything here is just covering as expected, and here we have the outer inner part of this, which is fine. We need to fix this small part here, and we will do is just all of them needs to be, so the windows need to be all of them the same material. In that case the material is only this one, so assign all of them and remove this one because you don't want to have the wall there. And let me see the unwrapping, how it's going, if it's quite bad or not. So the windows are going well. The outer part seems fine also. Even this is just cutting here that is not needed. So clear seam, unwrap. Seems working well, the unwrapping. So it's just going well. Probably we'll just reoriented this one to be aligning with the stones So we have here this small detail, and what we need to do is now the wall. So in that case, what we need to do is just delete probably all the things inside. So I will do something fast. So we will delete all of them. Faces. Okay. And what we need to do is just add in this one, which is just combine, but I'm not just combining. And what we need to do is just matching with this outer, so we can just hide the windows. This is easier. So that's the only thing that you need to do, is just merging all of them here, so the wall is just not messing with the windows. So I will just try to do all of them at the same time, kind of mirror. So this is one of them, and then we need this girl to be closer. Probably we need to cut down this. Let me see, or maybe not. Yes, we need. So take both, divide, should divide, and then take the central point 3 theta, and we can see how is this going. I was triangulating, but this is fine. Let's triangulating this face and this face, and now should be fine. Okay, and we need to do exactly the same on the button, otherwise and also we have here still some space, so we need to take this oops, we have already a few parts. Okay, so this is going well, and what we need is just moving this one to the bottom until this surface, which is fine. And what we need to do is just delete this and merge. Oops. Edges, so it's just taking something like that, and I will just the edges here and also the edges here, and I will create a face. I see that we have those that we don't need. Okay, this is face, and then we have a couple of them, these are vertices, and should be our face if we are not missing or maybe doing something wrong. Should be something like that, and then we'll see the 3 windows. Yeah, probably, yeah, the problem is being inside, so in that case we will need probably to have some kind of detail also, but we can move all of them together. So let's see if we can just move this all together to the wall here, and then moving the windows also to the inner part. This is fine, and in that case we have already inside of the wall. So I was just trying to make this one so small, but maybe it's too much. So something like that we have just aligning with the wall, even if we have a bit of details inside, so probably could be good to have a bit inside for that. And then what we need is just this to adjust and to have all the relief for this window, which is just kind of this. Okay, so from outside this is not so big, the relief, and we have already the windows being with inside, and from inside we need to put probably some kind of details here more or less the same that we have outside, but probably with only one layer or two of them. So for that, let's see how it's going in the engine. Rotate -90. Let's move it here. I want to see how it's going. I think it's going well. Well, about the wall, it's fine. This is completely clean. This is fine. Probably because I see that I'm just kind of cutting off them. Probably the one that I was using kind of wall need to be completely clean and not just like bricks. So it could be nicer. Even using, for example, this plaster texture. So this is something that we can solve right now. From outside seems not much big one, so this is good also. We need to finish this one, but this is just for Blender. And from inside probably we can see the problems here about all the walls that we need to put some kind of detail that I probably will use the same that I'm using outside, so it's just easy, we don't need to really work a lot. So first thing that we'll do is just using plaster for all those textures that I'm just going around the windows, because it's not nice. Of course we are just losing all the details doing like that. So about the windows here, so the textures that we need to do is this one, which is just dividing the windows between them. So all of them need to be, let's say for example plaster. Let's do something faster like that. And I'm not sure if I'm missing, yeah, this one also. Okay, and of course we need to do the same here, but this one is easier. And also this one it's just something like that. And then those small things. I think that's all. Do I have something strange? If I'm not missing anything. Okay, so in that case all those materials needs to be a new one here, and this needs to be plaster, and then assigning them. Okay, so this is kind of the wall. Otherwise we are just removing all those stone details that is nice, and we are just losing all of them. Because if you check other windows, you can see that the real window inner part is just made of those nice stones, and the rest is just wall. So in that case we are just doing everything with this same stone, and we lose a lot of details. Well, things like that. Even it could be probably a different one because it's not very nice being completely white, but something like that. So it's not really wall already, but need to be something different. Probably I would like to have more or less the same color like here, but not having even stones details. For example here you can see that this is something different, or for example here you can see inside is a bit different color. This is one of them, this is the wall, and so probably maybe white is not the right one, but I mean we have more details just changing the material for the windows, so we have a bit of details for them, which is being nicer. This one probably will be a bit higher. So now about the details that we have here, this one we say that we need to be a bit higher, so we have more ramping like that. And what we need to do is just one face here, another face here, I will just move a bit just to avoid this data fighting for, so something like that. And then in that case, if we are doing something bigger, we have this one outside, you can see here, but I think it's fine. It could be nice also. If the dots are being aligned, which I'm not sure. Let me check. Yes, they are. So it's just an effect of the window, because I use all the time this orthographic view. So probably it's just like that. So we have this one is the detail from outside, and I would like to do probably the same but reducing a few things for inside. So we will probably just duplicate, or we can duplicate another object, easier to manage. So details interior, and then rotate 180, and we can try to do something like that, and we will reduce the details. But if you put already the wall, you see that we have this one already covered. This is probably too much cutting here, so I think I will reduce just for example this one from the exterior, and we will have only one. So let's delete a few layers of those faces. Of course we need to delete the face outside, and then this one. So we have already two of them, but what we need to do is just make it this one bigger. So this one is the scale, and we need to extrude and move to the matching the wall. But I see here something strange. I would like to know what is happening here. So this is probably about the faces that need to be flat. Yeah, that's what's the problem. Okay, so we have this detail now that is not so detailed for the inner part, and we need to match with the wall, which is not enough here. So this is the one that we need to be extending already. So here we are just matching with the wall, and I will do the same with this. Need to be smaller, and we are just yeah, because we have been doing this one bigger. So this is just about dots that we want to have. So all of them and the dots, and this scale zeta 0. What's happening? I have all the dots again. So this one side, and this is another side. Yes, and then more a bit, there's no matching. Okay, so they are inside, and now we need to move this one. This is also big. We could probably do like that, and I think we could even, in that case we need to move this. They're not so big, of course, matching with them, and the ramp will be a bit less. I think it's just matching as expected, and also this one need to be smaller a bit. Okay, so I think that we have already the detail inside. For that, we are missing this one, so I need to be a bit scale a bit bigger for that, I think. Wait. But this is actually this one coming here, so this is the wall coming. Okay, yeah, I think it will be, this one need to be a bit bigger just to cover this, and of course we are again breaking this with so I will take the faces, not this one, this one. This one, let's try to do something bigger. Yes, and what we need to do is just aligning all of them. So in that case we need to take the dots again. Let's undo all of them. This one also. Scale at 0 and then move a bit to the top. So we should have also the details being inside. That is more or less the same as outside, but not so detailed. So and we have already also covering the wall. This one needs to be also rotating. Well, I forgot about this, and probably we have also the same problem in the another one. So something simple will be just cutting this, I think. Yes, unwrapping, this is fine. Rotate 90 just to align with the stones, and then this one also that probably have the same problem. Yes. So same problem, same solution. Just mark same, unwrap. Okay, so we have both sides with the details. On the inside you have less detail, for example, not about this outside, and smaller here, only 2 of them, and outside you have 3, and also it's going inside of the wall. In that case it's not going inside the walls, this kind of wall, and this is being inside for the inner part. So let's see. This could be, if it's working well, it could be probably all the things that I'm planning to do with this window, because I'm not planning to do something much more complex, just adding of course the glasses and then probably changing this texture, but it's not about modeling, so could be enough for this wall. Okay, so from outside that's fine. That's the only thing, is just this is too white, but that's fine. And from inside they have also some details. Being honest, I don't like much being all the details inside also, and probably we should have even less. I mean, we have been using 2 of them, and probably we could use only 1 really small, and reduce this one a lot, because it seems to me a bit big comparing with the guy, as you see. So yeah, probably I will delete 1 of them. Instead of having 2 of them that we have right now here, 2 of them, I will just keep only the last one that we need, of course, to cover the matching the wall with this window. So yeah, I will delete 1. So this is the inner part, this is the inner part, and I will just delete 1 of the details. So what is the one that we need to be sure that it's matching? Needs to be the outer one will be, this is 3, so we'll do exactly the same here. This one deleting, this one deleting, this one deleting, faces, and what we need now is just extending this one. So just scale. Let me see. Oh wait. What we need to do is this one, the scale. So this one's covering the wall. Yeah. Okay, so we take this, but we don't need to take, probably is also taking another here. No, This is not. So what's happening with it? Oh well, that's fine. We need to cover this one, so it needs to be much bigger, like that probably. And then what we need to do is just extend again and move to the wall to completely close this one, this small detail. And also in the button we can do something really small, and we could even adjust a lot this one, something like that. The background here, so let me see, it will be easy to select because the rest is just messing. And now we move the top for some reason here. So what we need is just taking this much closer, something like that. This is just taking probably things like this. So this this part on the bottom will be much smaller now because we don't have much details. So this is something like that. Should be really much smaller, and we could even move this one a bit closer. Yeah, probably needs to be a bit to the top to cover this. Well, it's just covering this and all the unwrapping. Okay, we are not missing anything. I think that now should be fine, and we don't have really much details inside. The only thing that we need, of course, is just having some detail. Otherwise it's just this is flat. We need something to cover matching this wall with the windows, so this is just, I'm using this small thing here. So at least we need something, we cannot just merge together the wall with the window. So probably this small detail is more than enough just to separate the wall and the window. See, because this is the old one we have. Now we have one. So now is this more or less, it's just much smaller, and even here it's just smaller. I think we could already remove this one and just connect this one, something square completely. We could remove the button, because here, for example, is nice. I mean, having kind of this ramp that will be probably good for the rain. So this is fine. Thinking about just how are they building, but to have something inside, even it's not nice, it could be completely it's block here. So we can remove this one and do probably something smaller. That is just connecting this one, so we can remove this small part here. This one, we can remove this this thing here, faces, and what we can do is just extend this one and then extend, do like that, and we will just connect them with so we will do, let's hide a lot of things that we don't need already. And then this one is a face. Oops, I was extending also this one. Let me see this. What is this taking? I just only want this 3. Probably it's taking all the curves, so when I'm just extending is something strange. Yeah, so this one, this one, this one, extrude, and then extend a bit, and again take it this and make face. This is what was the problem making a face here? Do I have duplicate vertices? Yes. Okay, so now let's try again. Really, I'm not sure it should be, or it is just, yeah, this is just something that is so close that seems to be a face, distorted face, but this is not. So this is what is something strange about the effect that we have here. Let's recalculate the faces. Probably that's the problem that I'm having. Okay, so this one face. Okay, and then we'll remove this face here and another one here. This is the one that we are connecting. So X face, and then use this to make a face. Another one, and just the button having also a face. So in that case we have something small here. If we just show the window, the wall. Well, we need to extend this one, which is fine. I will also merge the dots here. Will be easier to manage. This is G, E, G here. Okay. Remove doubles. So now we just need to take this and move all them, all the faces, or we can just create something like that. If this is too much, we can just move this one down also, so we can just adjust how big it is. The wall is fine, and also the windows and details. Yeah, I see. So this is the one that we need to do, at least this side, but in that case this is too much. We can move this until, well, the minimum is just having here the wall, or probably we can move the wall a bit to the top, probably. So now we have this detail that is much simple. I'm not sure this one will work well. Yeah, not much. So what we will try to do is just adding some cuts, probably here and here. No. Let me see who's going. Will be not so easy to unwrap this one, but because here it's distorting inside, should cut all of them. I will keep as this, rotate a bit just in case, but yeah, we need to work a bit more on it. It's just distorting all those stones probably. So, but I can work later because it's something boring. Let's save this final detail. Okay. Well, the latest thing that we need to do is just, oops, I think I'm missing here a face, or I'm not sure. No, probably not. It's just about probably distorting the stone, but I mean, I'm not missing. So just check about the window. This white one is not nice, of course, but the rest is fine. I'm thinking about another texture that I'm using here that could be reusing and not creating a new one for For this one, what I will do probably is taking this one but making something big. So in that case is you cannot see all those details. This one should be easy to do. So taking those things, okay, I can see that all of them. So this is the only one, and I will just do like 5 times bigger, and then we will have well, I'm not sure if we need to do the opposite way. So it's like scale 0.2 and then scale 0.2, something really small, so we don't have the bricks details. It's just the text, because I don't want to create a new one, and the color is fine, just the only thing is just removing this one. So import what is happening here? Did I re-import? Oh, sorry, because the way I'm using it, just of course that thing is I need to assign this assign to this one, because I have this plaster. So, and even this plaster texture is using workspace, so there's nothing. Don't care about the UV size. It's just reloading. Well, in that case, probably the texture that I'm using is also using workspace, so it's just ignoring the UV. So yeah, probably need to create a new material, which will be maybe reuse the texture for some reason, but at least this scale 5. So yeah, I will keep like plaster right now, and then I will change later for the texture, creating a new material or things like that. So re-import and then why not? Did I assign this one to plaster? Assign, export, re-import. Okay, now it's just reloading. That's fine. So I will leave this window as it is right now. I will just work on this material, but I mean I don't really need to model anything more. This is looking fine. Inside and outside I will put later the the glasses, I'm not sure if I'm just putting something nice glasses with colors, or I'm just trying something like that I was doing with Photoshop already, something like that, and then something simple probably for the window, and should be, this is enough. So I have still a bit of time for the streaming, so I'm not sure what's the next thing that we could do. Probably this door, or let me see what more we are missing. I was saying also adding this one, even not having a texture, but this thing I will add because I have here like a table, but I can reuse the same mesh here, so I don't really need to create a new one for that. I was thinking also about having this one smaller, because I would like to have here benches. So let me duplicate this one and then just rotate. There's some space here that I would like to have here also, benches just in front. Probably one row is enough. What I'm just checking is about the navigation, if they can just come here and walk. So this is also the reason to have them. And what I need to have this a bit smaller. Right now this is like I think it's like 3 and 2 meters, because I need to have the same scale for them, so I can reuse the texture from the floor, and it is just exactly matching because it's kind of proportion for square textures. So what I need to do is just keeping this proportion for being able to use this one. So probably if this is like 2 meters and 3, I could do like 2 and 2, something square. So this is working, and I will have like 50 centimeters more here and here. That could be probably enough to have space for sitting. So this is something probably enough. So I will just try to redo this one a bit, just something smaller. Let's set this one, something smaller, and we can put people there sitting probably. So what I need is just this floor step, this one. So right now it is what is the scale? Because well, you have something like that, but the scale is 2 meters and 3 meters. So what we need to do is moving those sides to both sides to 50 centimeters and 50 centimeters again. So let's move this one GE.5, and also this key minus 0.5, or the unwrap. So here I have the scale here, even it's not good scale at the moment, that's fine. And the only thing that I'm trying to do is this, because for example here you can do like scale 2 times bigger or 5 times bigger, and then you are just matching with the scale, which is the most important, having exactly the same. I'm not completely sure now if we are using, yeah, I think it should be, but of course need to be aligned to the texture, so it just was my fault. So okay, now it's just being aligned. I don't care, this one for example, and we can use at any time the floor. That's the question, that I'm trying to keep this scale for this central part, and then modeling all those details, that is, I don't care much about them. So let's re-import, and we can change one of the NPCs moving now to this place to see if they can sit here or not, because I would like to have a few benches, actors with blueprints, that they can just join and sit there. So this is something small but could be fine enough, and I was just trying to do is this. Of course the surface is going well, and I will just, this guy that we have here outside that is coming to this place, I will say assign to this another bench. So it's not this one but the second one, so it will be sitting on the new bench here that we have. The only thing that we need to do is just being sure that yes, this is going on this direction. Also the floor, we need to work on it. I don't have a proxy for the floor. I need to create for that. So let's see if the NPC can find the path and sit on the bench. So he's just coming, opening the door. Is it possible or not? Maybe not. Yeah, this is some kind of warning. Yeah, the problem is probably that I'm not in the same layer. So here, okay. So when you are just doing this loading streamings, you cannot find the object in your same layer. Of course, you don't have this one because you are not using soft reference or things like that. So that's why. But this is the same problem again. So accessing to none when this is trying to have this empty. So this is the one. What's the name of this one? Sit BP charge 2. And this guy should have yeah, because I was just completely selecting, but was deleted because it's not in the same layer. So that's why I have this problem. Let's try again if this guy is coming. Now it's coming, so I think this should be yeah, the thing is fine, but I forgot about redimensionate this one. Let's try to mention the proxy that we have, and the proxy for this one is be a floor step here. Yeah, that's why. But it works, so they have some space there to be sitting on benches on sides, because even I'm planning to put all those benches on the chart on the same blueprint, not just creating new one, even it's just adding as components. So I can kind of manage all of them later, like for example when an NPC is just coming to the church and then assigning randomly one of them, and then another NPC is coming, assigning any of them. That is free at the moment. And also this one is allowing me to be, for example, if you as player are just sitting here, when the NPC is coming, if they have assigned this one, will be kind of a problem, so this guy is not coming. But doing like that is just so they come and then they are being assigned one of them that they're empty. In case that they are assigned to this one, it's an busy. If the player is just checking some of them, I can see that some of them are busy. So I'm assigning a new one every single time, so having kind of a random when they are coming, because I'm planning that the NPCs and the player also need to come here probably 1 time a day. So this is something that you need to repeat and need to be not every time in the same bench, because I could probably just assign benches to NPCs and then being not able for the player, but in that case it's just kind of free. So if you are coming before, you can take one of them, and then the NPCs are coming later and they are just joining. And probably could be even some of them are coming but not all of them, so for some random reason, so you don't have the NPCs all the time in the same places, but just different NPCs in different places that they are coming on time. So just to add some kind of things like that, it's just having all the benches will be inside of the chart, and this chart PP will manage also the benches that are empty and things like that. For example, managing also the bell that is just playing or stopping during the time, and maybe some here having a few things there, and then people is just leaving again, and then the bell is not playing and things like that. So this church blueprint need to manage all those things, has to have this. So let me see about the player collision if we are just adjusting well. Okay, so now it's well, and probably the well, this because this step is so small as you can see, but that's why it's just taking ahead, but the proxy is there, so this is good. Just in case, let's check again. It should be coming. So it works. So I'm planning also to put here, for example, a new one here, this one, and all of them. At the moment only this one is interactive, but putting here a few of them, 8 is enough, I think. I need to adjust a bit because, for example, you have a space here, this is fine, you can walk here also, but you cannot walk on this small part. For example, as you can see, it is not possible to go inside. I don't have enough space, and this one is also not enough. And of course I need to change all of them because I have another model machinizer that will reuse, so I need to adjust a bit them so you can just walk around and sit on all of them. In that case you don't have enough space. I was just putting as a reference, so of course it was not enough for the proxies. Need to close this one. I have already both doors are working. Those doors also working, so you can just open them. As you can see, everything is more or less working fine. And the idea is just having the door here, so you go this way, this one will be closed, and then you take this one, go on that way, and appears here, and then another one here just crossing in that case. So at the moment maybe I will keep the doors, or maybe I will just, I don't know, because I would like to have the doors also, but it's possible to go inside not opening the big one, or just keeping this one closed. But in case that it is, probably this one will be always closed, because the problem is about the different lining outside and inside that I want to have. And if you are just going just forward, you can see inside and outside, and the colors are completely different, so this is not something good. So in that case you should have kind of corner to walk that is just going around, and then you cannot see inside and outside at the same time. And also I have I can put here like automatic door that is closing when the player is just moving or leaving. In that case it's just closing the door, so you cannot have both space at the same time in front. And could be good because I need to have special lining here inside that I was just doing for those rises gold and things like that, and I don't want to have outside because I need to have so strong fog for that, and I cannot keep both of them outside and inside. So yeah, that's the thing. So let me think about any other things that we could just do right now. Modeling that we are missing for the chart. Well, we are missing here the windows, we are missing this door, that I'm not sure which kind of style, if it will be just something square with also both leaves here, or I will have exactly the same. Also the problem is this one is opening to this direction or that direction. In that case we need more or less space. That's the thing that probably is going probably need to be that way. So in that case, if this one is open already, we need to have enough space here for another door to have exactly the same. I could probably do the same, even using the same surface. But I will add right now, just as testing, I will add on the blueprint, I will add this door. Even we don't have the model here, but this is fine. So on the viewport, just adding here, I will duplicate both doors. So can I select both? No, I can't. Okay, so duplicate this one and then duplicate this one. Let's try to adjust them inside, and we will change the direction for the doors being open. So it's something like that. Of course, need to adjust later those things in Blender and create the wall, proxies and things like that. But okay, probably do more. And what we need to do is just opening on the opposite way. So this is when 90 minus 90, and probably a bit more. Well, no, I will keep this as it is, and this is completely the opposite one, so 90. So in that case should be opening to this one, and we will check now if we have enough space or is it not. Well, it's not perfect, I see. Anyway, well, I want to check if this one is enough, so if they have enough space. So let's leave this guy living. Okay, this is what I see, that we don't have enough space right now, so it needs to be a bit far. Yeah, I see that this is probably not well assigned or aligned to the wall, but anyway, it's not having enough space here. I need just a bit more, so I will just move this one. Probably I need to move also this wall a bit. The thing is, I don't have much space already, and I was already moving this one to be a bit far. But the problem is also having the tower. Need to think about this, or I could just create something smaller, not so big. So I mean, if they are not so width, they need a bit less space, because it's just 2 meters and 2 meters. I could just create maybe something smaller with 1.5 in that case, or oh, well, I don't know, or just not having even a door here. But that's the problem that I was just telling about, inside and outside. So that's why I need put a door here or something, that they are not just going straight forward. But that's the reason. Or I could have just the door being closed all the time, so the player cannot be keeping this one open. I really don't know. This is the one that we are just trying to close. Yeah, trying to have something here, probably smaller. But in that case, the whole of the door is smaller than this one. It should be probably the same. Yeah, the main problem is about this. Because I will just fix the one that is being, if you are being inside and just simulating the lining that I need to keep for having this one inside. Now it's not much, because I need to rebuild all the lining. But I mean, this is the one being outside. and then in case that you go outside it should be changed already. That you go inside will be activated, but it's not so bad, being honest. I could just keep this. Let me see if I change the time of the day to something more in the morning. We will have probably something stronger, but I think we can keep this one already. We could keep this one in case that you go outside. Of course this will be like a small change on it, and then it will be changing. So in case you go inside it will be activated again, and if you leave will be again normal one. So probably that's good enough. I could keep this one already without a door at all, even something like that. I would like to see also if I'm working on probably I will make an arc here, and that's all, even not having a door or things like that. I want to check about the lining for this one. So the first thing I will just remove the doors underneath. Which one? To be sure this is outside or this is inside. Okay, this is inside, so I will remove this one and this one. And what I'm planning to do is just an arc here. That is a nice big one, and that's all. That's the way to go there. Very straightforward. And I will just keep this light. Well, we'll see. Let's try when the game says playing is working well to have this one. So this is even graph, and then it's entering on enter building living. So this is something like that, and should be only if this one is player. So this is cast to first person character. In case that this one is being done, I will take this get game manager and then get day night cycle controller, and what we need to do here is just set no, I will do kind of activate, deactivate or things like that. So I will add a new function here that will be enable volumetric fog. Enable volumetric fog, and in that case it's just having input for enable or not. And what we need to do is where is my, well, this is the one that volumetric fog here. This is get, no it's not get, it's set. That will be this, and after that we need to update this, and for that I was already doing on my construction script. So this is the one that I'm using. Let's just duplicate, and what we need to do is here it is. This is a kind of function that I have already, so that's why I want to use, like changing just a flag, and should be working, and that's all the things that I need to do. So this volumetric fog, and probably need to be also, what's my light component? This is the even graph, not this one. This one is also that was missing. Yeah, because it's not only about the color, but of course you need to activate, deactivate this one. So that's the one that I'm missing, and this volumetric fog will be, of course, this. So this one is activating, deactivating the one that is this. What I will do is just calling this function on probably no, this one is only for, let me check if this being used in any other place. Get volumetric fog, so Perfect. So I don't really need this because it's only using for as parameter in the editor. What I need is just activating the activating, and that's all. I don't need to care about this. And okay, so you have this function ready, and what we need to do is calling this function. So enable volumetric fog. This works. So in that case, this is just enable, and in case that you are leaving, this is not. So this is not, and probably we need to use the same one. And this is the object that needs to be. So this is enable, disable. Probably we'll need to use kind of lerp or some timeline to do that a bit nicer, and we also need to check about being inside already when you are starting the game. For example, if you are loading or saving. So let's say that this is initially, this is not, and let's see how it's going inside and outside. We should just recreate the lining also, otherwise it's just, let me see. Yeah, as you can see, it's just, well, it's working well here, but when you leave it, you see that this is just a bit, this is just a jump when you are already leaving this building. So here it's fine, as you can see, going inside is fine, but also because I don't have the lining being built, that I will do right now. It takes not much time. So yeah, probably I need to use some kind of lerp to have this one not so strong. Let's close this one, and then put lining. We don't need this already, so let's save and close because it takes also RAM. Yeah, it takes just 5 minutes, even less. So that's the idea. You go inside, you enable this volumetric fog that is working well with the windows, and then when you leave, it needs to be going back to disable this volumetric fog. But of course, just closing the doors, you have something really strong to change between them. So that was the reason that I was just planning to have something here for door or something like that, so you can just not go straight forward and you need to go kind of corner to avoiding having vision for both of them. But then I need to also put here a wall, I need to put here another wall, but then all things are going on the right way, things like that. And I could just deactivate this one, or being automatic closed. So when you are, let's say, going there, you are right to this point and then it's just closed and you cannot see this is open, and then stay here, that is just in front. So probably this is the solution for that, just having so when you go there already, you cannot see the inside, so in that case you are just already leaving, could be the solution. And then it's also the same with the tower, so you're going up, at some point you are just going to be here, so in that case you lose this lining for the interior, but it's easy to control with this just a box. So that's the reason. The thing is, probably need to create a wall here, which is good. Is probably just not having a door, so we have less things to do here, no more complicated, which means also, being honest, is to think about this as small chart, and what's the reason to have 2 doors here or another 2 doors, things like that. But this one I understand, the big one is usually closed and people is using this small them to come inside. That's fine. I could even remove one of them if you are opening this one, you are not using them, so that's why could be covering with this door this entrance completely, so it's not possible to have all of them at the same time. That is, let's just check how lining is going. In that case, we need to think about a solution if it's not working well. It is more or less working. I think I will leave as it is, just using some lerp to not be just cut, and you can see that it's changing, but maybe not so strong. So the lining is redone. Just a sec. Okay, so this is much darker. Okay, let's play to see this effect. Now should work. So when I go inside, this one should work. Let's try another time of the day, or even less. So this is in the morning. So if I go inside, you could see this effect here. But you see the charge you have. This is the volumetric fog that we have. So this is the one that we have. Here you can see very well. And this is the outside. So in case that you are leaving, as you see, it's just removing this one, which is nice. But if you keep this one, and you see that it's too strong for most of the places. So here is fine because you have a few saddles, or otherwise it's too strong. So that's why I need to activate, deactivate. This is not possible. I was thinking also about probably, let me see, here for example we have, if we can change a few variables from this volumetric fog, that we could probably having this one activated all the time. But if we change, for example, here you see, but look at this, is too strong there. So there is a parameter that is only working if you are just watching directly to the sun. So the parameter for this one is in this exponential 8 fog, and the parameter is this is the one. No, it's maybe let me see. I think the value is on the light, so this will be in the sun. Fall off. Yeah, that's the density of this one, but I think it's coming from this direction on light, and the value that we have here is volumetric scattering, that is also changing. So the resolution scale, this is a value that you have, that you can force to be just only in front of the light, otherwise it's just light source angle probably. So in that case that we are just in front, it is fine, but if you are not watching them, probably you cannot see them, but it's not sure about this value. Let me check. No, not this one. This value. No. I cannot find this one right now. Saddle scale. No. There's a value that you can force to be directly lining to the sun or not. In that case, I thought that it was here, so it's probably in the fog. That's the value for. No, that's the global densities. No, start distance, cut off distance, scattering texture, directional in scattering, extinction scale, scattering. This one I think is yeah, This is for all the directions, or if you are doing something like this, it needs to be just only when you are watching to the light. So that's the case, for example, here, as you can see, that's only watching to the light. But in that case, if we go inside, you don't see this one unless you are just being completely in front. So we could use, instead of changing the fog, we could just change this one, having activated all the time. So in case that I'm just inside, I will do like that, for example, or 1.1. so you can see 0.1. so you can see that this is working well in the charge. But if you go outside, I would like to change this value to 0.9 or things like that, so you don't have this. But in this case, as you can see, also it's so strong, so I should probably need to change both of them. So it's like the scattering distribution and also the scale, distinction scale is something like that. So you can have this one for the sun and the rest is fine. But what I was found easier is just having this activate, deactivate. So this is just activating, deactivating. So this one is working as expected. So this is just fog, but not volumetric fog, and just fog. And then when I'm activating this one, of course it's straining, but if you go inside, that's the right light to have. So that's the way to use for having both of them. In that case, should be exponential fog. I think I had changed a few parameters. Yeah, so I could change a few parameters for that to have something nice. In that case, this is too much, but 0.5 probably. This is the one that we would want to have. This is very nice for the charge. Let me see from this point if we change. Let's just change a few values, having more about them. So it's just nice inside. Yeah, I need to be. And what about 0? This is even taken care of, or okay. So what I have found is just activating, deactivating, and should be fine. So this is the internal light, and when you leave, should just deactivate completely. Otherwise, as you see, you have this one. So if you go outside, it's fine, but it seems to me being too strong. So for that reason, probably I will need to keep or doing a lerp for some value. For example, this extinction value, probably. What about this? Yeah, so if I'm doing things like that, 0.2, 0.3. Yeah, so I could do this extinction value, but I'm afraid that using 0 and deactivating this one is could I change this? No. And what about deactivating, activating? Yeah, it's changing a bit, so probably I will lerp until some value and not completely 0, so to have something nicer to match between them. So this is one of the values that I could use for the timeline, for the lerp, and not just this this flag that is completely jumping between them. But anyway, what the most important is about having two different lightning, inside and outside, that is working well. So when you are going inside, you will have the lightning from inside. When you leave, you will have the lightning for, as you can see, even it's just having that. This is the shadow here. Yes. So I was thinking that probably use a bit of this, for some reason, even just keeping probably like 0.1. Let me see if we can keep. What I'm trying to do is just keeping this effect all the time, but in that case what is happening is that we are losing our fog as usual. So that's where I need activate, deactivate, otherwise, because it's not working together at the moment, it's not possible to have volumetric fog and exponential fog all together. So to keep the same fog that I'm using all the time, that I want to have this one, and I have already adjusted for the world day and night and things like that, there is something that I want to keep, and using this volumetric fog is just losing all of them, so it's just only for being inside and outside, and that's all, not for all the time. Yeah, I will try to find which parameter could do a nice transition and not really jumping as it is right now, but yeah, that's the thing. Not also as the chart is going nice. I was thinking something much more simple. Of course not like house, because for some houses it's so simple, but for the chart should be much nicer. But anyway, it's just looking much nicer than I was expecting. Of course I'm spending more time on detail than I was really thinking, but it's fine. It's just perfectly fine spending a few more time, but yeah, it's going better. The chart is just taking much care. That's why I'm thinking to use it on the gameplay quite often. Sorry. Okay. Let's save this and avoid just changing all the time. So we need to change this. Let me check which more we could just model, because I have still 1 hour for streaming, so we probably can do a few more things for that. I will leave the translation, the texture here, I will leave it. Painting also, all the paintings inside that we need to have, I will also leave, because it's just something with Photoshop that I need to do, and trying to find some pictures on the internet and just combining, or some style, so this is nothing. And probably this one, this small arc here, we are also missing. We need to redo also the bell, because it's just quite bad. We need to add this one here, but I will reuse another texture. It's really dirty and makes no sense here. In the end, this window is big. I was thinking something much smaller, really. That's fine. That's fine. Let's create here an arc and put a couple of proxies, so this one will be already done and we don't need to care about this anymore. What we need to find is tower. Okay. So first we will work probably in the outer part, because I have also inside for let me show you here. So this is outside, and I have also inside for all the tower steps and so on. So you can see this is inside, but I have also outside covering them. Same material, but I mean it's a bit different. So what I need to do is both of them. So this is one and this is another one. I will do first thing, to take reference for the door, probably I will keep this as a reference. So we see this is the door, which is a lot, and probably I will use also kind of shape here, but could be just round. Could be just round. In that case, it's enough if I'm adding a circle. But go to the center and now add this circle that had 32. Yeah, it's fine. Rotate the 90. We need to adjust this one to something smaller probably. Well, this is 2 meters and I was thinking to have exactly the same 2 meters here, so probably that is enough. Yeah, but I'm not sure, maybe it's too big because having also these 2 meters here for something smaller, but at the same time need to be just straightforward. But you have both doors that are maybe 10 centimeters, so it means 20 less, and we should have just this one need to be, so let's scale, this is 1 meter, and if we want to have now, let's say 180 to have something smaller, is like a scale 1.8. So this will be, oops, a bit smaller. This is the door and this is something smaller that we will have here, and just to match with the door, probably that. And then I will remove all those things that we have here. Sorry, no, not this one. And we can just extend this, going to minus 0.2 just to match with the terrain. So that's the surface that we are planning to use for our arc, and what we need to do is just connecting all of them. So the first thing that I'm doing is probably deleting all those faces, and I will use this Alt F to connect this. So we need to align also to this, which is just X this, and then I will select this and align to this one. And the only thing that we need to do is just select this one, this one, this one, and then try to this Alt F. No faces, okay, because I need to connect probably this thing, and I will try to take the world shape, but it's not taking. Let's try again. Is it connected already? Remove doubles. So it is connected already, so should be. But I see the problem is about probably some dots that I have here, like this one, and I don't see anymore. I don't see any other dots, but for some reason there is a dot here. Is all this one? Okay. This one. Try again. Now it's fine. Okay. What's strange that it's not doing? Really, it's something simple. Let's check the faces. Is it going well? Yes. So we have already our arc here, and we probably need to redo again for the inner part. So we have here this inner part, and I'm not sure, probably I need to merge them in some way with inner and outer, otherwise it will be hard to connect all of them here. I'm not sure. Or I could just use something like small stones here to support this arc, and then it's using this one to, to hide this connection. That could be also It's easy, fast, and should work well. Yeah, I think I will use this idea. I like this idea, and it's easy to do, easy to implement. So what I do is now duplicate this one, and then I just divide in back section. What I need to do also this unwrapping here for the new surface. Looks well. Just in case I will assign all them to the same material. I will hide this at the moment, and what we have is this interior, and we have this oops, I think that I was just, yeah, because I was just on the connection of this. Yes, so let's just delete a few of the things here that we don't really need. I was just creating too much of them. The only thing that I want to have is just the arc here, just to reuse with the inner part. So first thing I will do is just delete also those faces that I don't need, and I will recreate later with this filling. So faces, and then aligning this curve to this one, which is X 3, and then you here. No, something's bad because I think I have taking the wrong. Okay, this is X, need to be aligned to X, which is this. Okay, what now? This is fine. Since not, so that's why I'm okay. What's not going well? Should be aligning to this one, but it's not. So this is the location, maybe. So this one is okay. Probably I was just missing this one, but it's not aligning at all. So I mean, if I take this one, I take the distance from this X that I have here as that's one, or what is exactly? So this is the X. Okay, and now I do that. Probably because I have exactly, and now I found what the problem is. This edge. What now? Exactly. Now it's aligned. So what I do in just merging both of them. So this is going to our interior. Join. We have ready this one inside. So just in case, I will do as before, just connecting both of them. Well, this one is coming from one point, so I will align also those. For some reason it's not going so down. That's fine. So here we have face, we have here face, and we will try to have this one, and what is mine? I think this one, and try to fill. Perfect. So it's just working. So the thing now is probably using this one as arc to have here duplicate and then create a new one, because I will use this one as tower divider, kind of this. Like we can put something there with the stones that you cannot see exactly this one, this arc. So let's create for this one the UV that we are missing, and grab, and we have ready this arc, which is nice. We will need only this divider that is just taking between them. So this divider here, if we do, I think I did the same mistake as before, adding all those yeah, exactly, adding all those things. So what I will do is let me see if this one is taking also, not this one, okay, and then Control E, and then just delete all the edges, and we have only this one, okay, and we can just extrude and move a bit, and we will have this arc to divide between interior and exterior. So this is tower and this tower interior. Well, I did it the opposite way, but yeah, something like that. So we can hide the one that we have. As you can see, we could be even smaller, so we don't need much space. We probably need to properly well, as you can see, it's really small, the division between them, but so I will just create something really small, and that's good because we don't need a lot of details for that. So this is the one that we have, and needs to be, all the faces need to be smooth, but at the same time the edges need to be sharp. And what we need to do is just selecting again all of them, and what we need is just probably extrude and scale, not X. Let me see how it goes. Yeah, probably that's what we need. And not this. So this is our arc, even not being nice for that, but this is something that is distorted. So probably I only want to have the big part. I'm not taking this distortion. So let's try to without this face and without this face also. So this is extrude, and then scale on E will be 1.1, and then scale zeta 1.1, and we need to do something like this, and looks better. And just this one, and I need to align them to the same size. Just I will remove them so it's easy to work with them, and we need also to remove a few faces that we are not having. So this one need to be this one, because I'm just extending this small part. So scale set of 0, and now what we need to do is extending this. So I will delete this one and this one, not to have duplicated faces. This one extrude going to minus 0.1 or 15 or things like that. And yeah, I think that this it is. Do I have inners? I don't have these inner ones. Well, we'll create and then using quads again, and this one need to be completely flat for all of them. So this is flat. It's really small. Maybe it's too small. We could try to do something nicer. We forgot probably this, but not this one, not this one, not this, and this is smooth. In that case it's just this one is not. Let me see. We don't really can appreciate math this, being honest. So this is sharp. But strange that this one is being smooth, but at the same time is ignoring my this one, or what the problem is. Let's check again. This is flat, and also this one is flat. That is flat. It's already. Well, it's also small that we don't have any problem with this one. What we need to have is just the unwrap will be probably bad. I suspect this is a 1 dot. So what we need to do is cutting things, probably just this one and that one. And this one, already this one. So this is a seam. This is something really strange. Yeah, because we can delete those small faces that we don't need, and it's just breaking everything. And now it's fine. So that's how the stones are being done. And let's export for this small thing. Export here. Save. Well, I will break again the lining that we have here already pre-calculating, but that's fine. And also easier to see when you are modeling, having this one. Okay, I don't know exactly what is there. What is happening here? What is the door? I have here something strange. I know what the problem is. I'm probably selecting also helpers or things like that. I know, because I was reopening. What I need to do is just exporting here, and I forgot to match the select objects only. Okay, I forgot. I was just closing and reopening again. Okay, so you can see here we have this arc, and we have also, come on. Okay, this almost, you cannot even appreciate this small arc that we have here. It's really small, but it's good enough that we don't have the walls. So you can see here, probably we can do something thicker to make something nicer. Being honest, because it's just so small. Probably we'll have problem with the normals also. I see here something strange, so yeah, probably we need to recalculate the normals. It's something that's broken, and for some reason here this is also not going well, so I need to check about this. UV, I think I did already, but it's something here distorting. That's strange. Unwrap, this is fine. And with the interior, so why is I don't see any distortion about the UVs? Seems more or less fine. That's the one that is distorting probably. It's a bit, but it's like 1 pixel here, so there's nothing. But here in the engine you can see this small part. What I see is just maybe having this small area here. So this is not. So this is after this one, but that's strange really, that is not being probably distortion here that you don't have, but you have here distortion. For some reason there is kind of face here, or just really small triangle here that is going through this one, just through. Probably some problem with sense here of them. Probably what I can do, because it's not really needed all of them, I probably can delete some of them, like dissolve those edges and do the same here, because we don't really need so much detail. It was fine for this, that is the one that you can see, but for the UVs it could probably more than enough. Well, in that case we need to do something smaller, but it's not a problem. And I will do the same with so in that case the UV will be probably be better, and I will do the same with the inner part that we don't really need so much details, and then yeah, all of them. Dissolve edges. And what we need to do is this divider, just make it smaller. This one, this. Come on. Well, first thing is just recalculate all of them. It's probably this is one of the problems that we have. And now now we need to have this one, it's smaller. So I will just scale, no X, something smaller, and should be covering completely the tower interior and out. So that's good. And probably will do, as I say, with scale on E, no, on X, a bit thicker, just to have something nicer, because it's really small. Okay, so I'm wrapping in. Let's see this distortion this coming from, I don't know where. Maybe removing. I have the same problem with the windows in the tower. I was removing, as you can see, this is fixed. I was removing also a few edges that I don't really need so much detail, and I was just fixing. So here you see you have those. This is the one that is just here. From the bottom probably it's fine, and from this point is also good, but it's not, since fine. We are missing the proxies just to be adjusted to the walls. Probably we are missing the proxies, so let me see if we have proxies here for that. Completely empty, so we need to create a couple of them here for the wall. But I want to see, what is this? This is one. So why I have this is one proxy, this is another proxy. Seems to me duplicated. Yes, this one seems duplicated. And that's the one for probably. Oh, that's the tower. This is fine. Now what about this? This is 1, this is 7. So let me see about the tower, which one it is. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So for some reason this one is kind of duplicated here, and we can reuse this one. So and rotates at a 90, and let's adjust to this arc. For that we need to take the arc. So the arc is divider. It's just really small, but of course we need this just to avoid colliding between them. So this is one side, and what we need is just matching with this arc, and then duplicate, and I will do moving to this part here and rename also. Rename. As you can see, just small charts. I have like, I don't know, 50 or even more proxies for that, you know, it's something crazy. So we have ready this and this. I want to add also a small cross on the top, in the front part, which will be, I see, it takes not much time. So we have proxies already. Okay, completely broken. The process, I mean. What's the reason to have this? I was selecting the whole group, I think. Okay, let's check again about the proxies. Okay, we have proxies here for the tower and everything, and just play this and try to find if the proxies are working. Over here, the proxies seems working well. Just even having here the small corner which you can just stop here. So yeah, that's working also with the proxies. So what I want to put is just here on the top, small cross, will be easy and take not much time. Small one here. So I think that's the next thing that I'm doing. This one. Something here. Yeah, will be really easy. The small square. So let me see the front part. We don't need this divider ready. Probably it's better to have the roof, because I am using this small part to cover on this wall, as it was already. I have something to cover with this one. As you can see here, it's just covering this wall, protecting from water and things like that. I have a problem with the decal here, but anyway, just let's adjust the decal right now. Decals, decal front. Okay, so that's done, and well, still we have something like that. Okay, so here we need to put something, will be like a small box, and then over that will be the cross there, and this is the point. So I will create like a new object that will be just cube. The scale here just as a base, and then over that I will just put my my cross. So this is something smaller even. So this is the base. For that I will just delete the faces that we don't need it. Faces, I will already add this mark sim. It's working well, and I will add here add a new box probably, or I can just duplicate this one. Duplicate scale, coming here, the scale, probably that. If it's too small, it's probably you cannot see from there. So from this point I will do extrude, and then extrude again, and just take this one and this one, and then extrude, scale E. So we have something like that. Not sure about the size, being honest, but probably we can just select all of them and do it bigger, and probably I need to delete this the seams and create a new one. It's something more complex, so I think it will be, so this shape will be just matching with this area. Probably we need also the same shape the other side. So let's see how it's going like that. I think I'm missing something. Of course I'm missing do I have inner faces? No, I don't have. So this one is taking this surface round, and then just dropping on this one, going around, and probably we need to merge this one also. More or less. It's also overlapping, so yeah, that's the thing that should be. Let me try to redo again. So clear all of them and try, in that case, for example, having this one, that's the connection for both sides. So this is the one connecting. I will try to put, for example, cutting here, or we don't really need to cut them, but we need this one, and this is also this mark sim. Okay, now it's fine. So it's just being create. So what we need to do is now adding, for example, it will be probably stone or white stone that you can see better. Yeah, because it's something small, so probably we need to have the cube. It will be cross and need to be in the group export. So yeah, that's all. let's see about the size. But as you can see, it's really simple model, so there's nothing there, just small square. Okay. Size from this point, of course, since fine. Let's try to be from the button to see the right size, and I will just play. You can see well. It's just the size, and even being white, it's much easier to see. Of course, it's just covering this small window that I was just modeling in the past. What I mean. It looks fine. And this arc is also fine. Checking again. Yeah, we need to build the lining for the interior, otherwise it's just messing. But from outside seems fine. This one where we need just to change the texture, but it's also fine. Probably adding a few decals or something like that to clean for that. This one is also fine. So I think from outside we have more or less everything. We don't need to add more details. Or we could also put the same cross here on the back side, here on the top, probably. I'm not sure. Nah, I will not add this one. One is enough. So let's create just the light in a while. In a moment, it's just a few seconds, and we can just check, because I'm not sure if I'm modeling even more things. I have already 15 minutes, so not much time ready to probably start anything new. So I will just create the lining. Saving everything. It's just a couple of minutes, probably even less. And we can just try to play around with a few things, how to see how it looks from any other point of the game. Let's say, for example, from this point, this house. We can change also the time of the day to have different lighting. Oh, great, thank you. I will check in a while, because I'm just doing the time then streaming and trying not to be chatting also, and then if people is waiting and not try to have this chat also on screen. So I will just check in 15 minutes, because I'm almost finishing the streaming already, and then it's time for lunch, but I will check. So did you like it? This is fine, it's working fine. Of course there are a lot of things missing, content especially, but at least it's yeah, I really like it. Thank you, I really like it. I was thinking about something not so complex or so much details, but in the end it's just looking well, and I was spending a few more time as expected, but it's going well. And also I'm still missing the interior. That will be probably something much nicer, but of course trying to be something simple for a small town, but some paintings could be really good. And for example, from outside you can see that it's just looking nice. I was thinking almost being a box and a few details, but not much like this. So yeah, in the end it's just finishing quite good. I like it. and comparing with the houses that are so simple, this is much complex, but at the same time should be, because just paint the charts should be something nicer. But yeah, it's finishing quite well, and yeah, it's taking maybe 4 days, I don't remember. Yeah. Yeah, probably you have found a few things, but yeah, just let me know about them. I will try to fix all of them if I didn't fix already, because maybe some of them I have found during the time that they're working on the game every single day. Probably I have found, or just missing things like, for example, say jumping over the traders or going through the river. They don't have any sound or things like that, but that's not the main gameplay at the moment, so I was not spending too much time on it. But yeah, any single bug could be important, and of course need to be fixed in the end. But the thing is, working fine about performance. I think the UI is clear, and what you're working is easy to do. It's not like being completely lost all the time. Even the mission is so simple. But so let's see how it's going this one, and let's walk inside now. Let me see the cross that we have been adding. That's fine. Let's take this way. So we can go inside. Just to see this different lighting. Let's change to something in the morning. Yeah, so this is the lighting for the interior. As you can see, it's just very nice for the windows. But if you leave it and you go outside, should be changing again to this. At the moment, of course, missing this layer, but I mean the lighting is fine. So go on this way to have the same things. For some reason my computer is really now I don't know what's happening, it's really lagging. Not sure about if this is about playing or what is happening exactly, but or I'm checking just about the hard drive, maybe it's doing something. Probably Windows updating things is the best time to do, you know, it happens usually. So I have different lighting here, and if you leave it, as you can see, it's really lagging. It's I don't know what the problem is. Yeah, it's almost impossible to play right now. I don't know why. For some reason it's lagging. Yeah, but that's the interior and exterior, so it's just going well. What I'm missing is just paintings. Well, of course the glasses here, changing the texture for this window that is not completely finished, but the roof is fine, the tower is complete. The only thing is about the bell that we need to do also. But let's walk on the tower. If I can play now. Yeah, that's the lighting here. What is the one that is missing? Yeah, this one. That's the one that is just paint completely covered with this cross that I was just creating right now. Well, it's not so bad. So that's working well. So you have seen in the demo there is big hole, like big space in the middle of the town with nothing there. I mean, This is the place for the charge. So you can see here really big hole with nothing in the map at the moment. So during the there was nothing here, and it's a bit strange that there's so much space empty, because I was just planning to do this charge, that I didn't have time to add them. So being outside is going really slow. As you can see, it's just lagging my computer for some reason. I don't know what is. I'm going like 3 frames per second, things like that. Really? So this is probably something with the lining. This is activating, deactivating. Because being inside, it seems working fine. No, it is not. In the editor is fine. When I'm just playing it, for some reason it's not working or being pretty laggy, which is not usual. What I need to do also is just working all around. I need to close this charge, put some vegetation probably on the fence, and a few details like that, and that's all, because I'm not planning to work much more. The bed I need to redo something smaller, paintings inside, and that's all. And the rest of the thing will be just working on blueprints, because I want this charge controlling all the pistons being sending there, or going inside, outside, things like that. So yeah, will be more code to this charge, control a lot of things like NPCs coming, starting maybe a mess, and I need to do also this layer for the transition between the lightning inside and outside. I have already developed that is playing or not, so I can just even let me try this a while. I think I have here for testing, just for testing. Let me close a few things. Probably it's a problem with RAM. This is taking too much, and then I will close a few things, like for example those references that I need anymore. This is really laggy at the moment. Closing a few things to have a bit more RAM. So if I'm already playing, let's remove this one. The bell should be playing, I think, after 20 seconds. Yeah, exactly. So the bell is playing, and you have 3D sound. So you have attenuation, for example, going far, and you can see this is a 3D sound. And now it's stopping, and we'll start again in a few seconds. So it's just being controlled by blueprints, so you can just play many times as you want, and then stopping and things like that. So it's belling again. That again started after a few seconds. It's really lagging a lot, probably because I'm streaming at the same time. I don't know. I would like to see this start FPS. Yeah, as you can see, it's like 10 frames per second for some reason. I don't know where the brain is. It's really slow, the computer. I don't know. Okay. I'm playing like that, it's going well. As you can see, it's just fast, but not playing for some reason. It's just stopping. Probably it's just about streaming also, or a few things that I'm just, I don't know, things like that. Well, I think that I will finish here. I was streaming for 3 hours already. Probably I will come again in the afternoon, so in a couple of, no, maybe a couple of hours, but more like 4 or 5 hours I will be again coming and probably finishing this charge if I have some time for small details that we are missing, or maybe doing some codes on this, or working on any other part, probably level design, because we need also those areas, and maybe modeling a few things like tombs for small cemetery here. So yeah, probably will come. If you like the streaming, follow it. I'm streaming every single day. If you want to continue watching this development, you have a few links here. If you want to check more pictures on Twitter, for example, or you want to see other videos, because I'm just uploading all the streaming to YouTube channel. I'm missing a few days, but I'm uploading all the streamings, all of them, but just take some time for processing and then create this miniature and things like that. But all of them will be there. Also, if you are missing some and it's not good for your time zone, you can just check later if you want to follow this game development. So thank you everyone for coming. Hope to see you again next time, and I hope you enjoy. Have a nice day. Bye bye.